What is the spot market and how does it work? I'll explain it in a relatively simple and very layman's way. In order for electricity to be available everywhere across Europe, it's quite natural that when one country is lacking electricity, it buys it from another country. So regardless of the fact that we have certain territories and borders, I would put it very simply, electricity doesn't have those borders because we transfer it as needed. And for this to be possible, for individual countries to be able to trade electricity with each other, to be able to transfer capacities among themselves, and to ensure that everyone has access to electricity not only within the European Union, but across Europe as a whole, or even the world. In essence, we need to engage in trade from time to time. And probably the simplest model for how this can be done is through having electricity traded on an exchange. What's interesting though is that there isn't just one exchange but several. For example, the Croatians have Cropex. They have their own exchange where electricity is traded, and if you want to buy from the Croatians, you have to trade on Cropex. Hungarians also have their own exchange, and most countries generally have their own exchanges where electricity is traded. As producers, we are able to sell our electricity on the exchange. We can't really do this independently. We always need to have some kind of trader for that. If we had a larger portfolio, we could be a trader ourselves, but we would have to apply for a separate license. It has to be granted to us, and it's a completely new activity. It is a rival, a completely separate activity. But the principle is simple. The trader matches the producer with the market itself, meaning with the end consumer. The role of the exchange is to set or regulate the price on a daily basis according to the demand or supply of electricity on the market. In recent times, especially when we talk about the last 6 months, we keep monitoring the prices on the exchange, let's say in Croatia or even in the Balkans, and they are constantly moving at the lower end, somewhere around, I think, 40 or 60 euros, but that's usually at 2 or 3 in the morning when really almost no one is buying. At most, someone might be heating with electric energy, even at night, but then, I don't know, it usually goes up to around 120 euros or 150 euros. In such a kind of long-term average now over the past half year, up to some peaks, which are, how should I put it, anomalies that range from 400 to 600 euros in some short periods of time, where what really happened is what happened a few months ago. I'm not sure if it was in December. The Germans shut down their nuclear plants, they're shutting down coal power plants, and they're dependent on renewable energy sources. The sun stopped shining there, the wind stopped blowing. So at that moment, of course, all the prices suddenly shot up and jumped as high as 800 euros per megawatt hour because someone needed to make a massive purchase. Production was relatively low in various regions, so this is basically the logic of the market, and this is how it works.